And this man is crazy, bro. A meme.
Bro, dead ass, a meme made it.
A meme is a TNA champion, bro.
I was in my bedroom, straight up. Wave him. And when that shit hits at the Royal Rumble this year,
Bro comes out as a TNA champion, bro.
I'm gonna lose my fucking marbles. We're it kind of, I feel like we're at the peak of Hendry Mania and TNA going crazy.
Fucking wild times, bro.
It is, and that leads us pretty well into our first topic here. TNA and NXT are they're together now.
Intertwining, bro.
They're dating.
They're kissing now, bro.
They're kissing very much. And honest to God, I cannot tell you how much I love this. Like, I am so excited.
I saw Cora Jade came out on TNA. Interesting to see that.
They also had a Fraxium come out during the tag team championship match with the Hardys and the Rascals.
That's gonna be interesting to see.
So that was really exciting. Like, bro, so that was the first one. Cora Jade came out later in the show. I believe they had Ashanti the Adonis on the pre-show. I was not tuned in during the pre-show. I tuned in during the actual pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But so the first NXT appearance that happened during the show itself was Fraxium during the tag team match. And, like, dude, I legit, like, I jumped out of my chair. I was so excited. I popped hard. And part of it was, yes, like, I love Fraxium. I think that they're one of the best fucking tag teams on planet Earth right now in all of professional wrestling.
You like Axiom as a wrestler?
I think Axiom and Nathan Frazier are both fucking elite. I just think that they're a phenomenal tag team. Like, they just...
understand each other.
They are so fun to watch. And so that was definitely part of the pop. But then, honestly, a huge part of it was just like, holy shit, this is really happening. Like, obviously, the press release for the whole deal had come out a few days earlier, but seeing them come out during the show, like, that was the moment where I was like, wow.
It's a big TNA pay-per-view and
This
shit,
exactly, like, a huge moment for professional wrestling where these promotions are finally working together with one another. And so I am just...
One thing I had, like, to personally ask you is, like, bro, this is interesting because, like, is this a defeat for TNA? Because I remember they were, like, kind of at war with WWE for a minute and shit.
So I think that the only reason there was ever a perception of that...
Because I feel like this is more like a peaceful agreement compared to, like, a takeover from, like, what Vince did with WCW and shit like that.
No, 100%. I think this is very different from what was happening with WCW or ECW back in the day. I think that this is... So to answer your first question about TNA being a competitor, I think that was only ever a perception thing because of WWE's creative being at low points. So when the creative in WWE was, like, really bad... that would be the times where people would be like, oh, but, like, I'm gonna just go watch AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and fucking TNA. Like, I'm just gonna go watch that shit instead. Fuck this WWE shit. But the numbers never were, like, fully... Like, TNA, I don't think, was ever a serious competitor to WWE.
It was part of wrestlers' promos. You remember fucking John Cena's promo when he fucking told Vince after the CM Punk match, he's like, oh...
I could go make an impact. Yeah. Well, yes, but I think that was... Again, I think that was more of a perception thing where, like, the smarks at the time that understood what that line meant, those were the people that were flocking to TNA because a lot of the creative at WWE was trash at the time, and so they were watching Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle and all these guys at TNA instead. And so I feel like that line was for that. Like, I feel like the TNA crowd that was watching it back in the day is the same people that are, like, the diehard AEW fans of today. Yeah. Like, the diehard wrestling fans, which, yes, that is a fairly significant crowd, but again, when we're talking about the numbers overall, I don't think
I
TNA
agree
was
with
ever like
that.
a serious competitor.
Because
to-
everything I've seen when TNA has like had guest appearances in WWE, it's always been positive compared to like probably before. We'll probably get like booed or some shit like that.
and yeah, I feel like it's a positive deal overall for both companies. Like you're saying, is it like negative for TNA? I don't think so at all, because it's gonna give a huge platform for their talent to get over, and then that just attracts more fans to TNA. Can I be real with you? The only reason why I watched Genesis this last weekend was because I had seen Joe Hendry on NXT and seen Jordan Grace on NXT, and like, oh, okay, like
They're gonna wrestle.
these are some of these bigger talents that I've seen in NXT. They were interesting. I feel like I might enjoy seeing more of them on TNA, and so then I start tuning into some of that shit, and then you start to get more interested in these wrestlers. So like if we're just being real, the weekly crowd of NXT that watches the show is larger than what's watching Impact on a weekly basis. And so I feel like it's going to get more eyes on TNA talent, which is going to draw more eyes to TNA shows. And I'm expecting to see a lot of crossover matches and stuff where, you know, you've got NXT titles being defended on TNA pay-per-views. And I think you're going to have TNA titles being defended on NXT PLEs. And I think
hard.
It's exactly like, to me, like as a kid who just grew up loving wrestling, and when you're young, like you don't understand the business side of anything. Like I just wished when I was a kid and I was watching Jeff Hardy videos on YouTube, seeing him in WWE, and the only place I could actually see him on TV was in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like a 10, 11-year-old kid, it's like, fuck, like I just wish Jeff Hardy could do some wrestling in WWE with those guys. Like that'd be cool.
The forbidden door, forbidden.
Exactly. And so all of that stuff kind of being opened up as a fan, I'm just fucking extremely excited, dude.
Now somehow Jeff Hardy's part of WWE somehow now.
Exactly, like bro, we could see the Hardys appearing again through NXT. Obviously, I don't know if it's gonna be main roster stuff, but we could see that shit again on NXT. Stuff like that is gonna be super, super exciting, and it's, I don't know, man. I just think it's overall so good for the wrestling industry, and I hope that we continue to see more stuff like this. Like I don't know how possible it is, but one day down the line, I would love to see All Elite Wrestling working with WWE. I don't know if that's possible.
You're tripping, big dude.
But dude, just like the matches we could get, like, see, I'm just at heart, I'm just a fan at the end of the day.
That one's impossible, big dude.
And so I get it. Like, yeah, there's all that other business shit behind it.
Unless one takes over and the other one, then no, bro.
But like, dude, imagine how fun.
That'll be fire, but like, no.
I get it. I get it.
No.
I get it. I get it.
No.
I'm simply throwing it out there to say I am very appreciative of TNA and NXT, WWE for being willing to make a deal like this.
TNA, yeah.
Because as wrestling fans, this is the type of shit that I love to see, man. Like, more awesome wrestling. Yes, please.
More opportunities.
That's all I want to see.
Fucking solid ass matches and shit.
That's all I want to see at the end of the day is fun wrestling. That's what we're all here for. What do you turn on the TV on Mondays and Fridays for?
Fucking wrestling.
Do you want it to be fun?
Yeah.
Well, then let's just do more of that. I think that's a great idea. Now there's even more fun wrestling on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
More reason to watch fucking NXT.
Exactly. For more casual fans that maybe haven't tuned in as much to NXT, it could be a reason for people to start tuning in more.
And a fan like us to start watching more TNA.
Exactly. It's not like I'm a consistent TNA viewer. I watch Genesis because it's a big pay-per-view, but I don't watch the shows weekly, but this is something that could at least have me keeping up with it more on a regular basis. So, yeah, I think it's a win all around for all promotions.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what comes going forward. But, yeah, bro. Shit's going to be crazy. I wanted to touch on a bit of, like, kind of going off of that, what happened at Genesis. Just some of the fun stuff that I saw as someone who doesn't regularly watch TNA. I'm really excited to see the future of Jordan Grace.
How did you feel like the quality of it, honestly, to watch?
Okay, so just to touch on the overall, I mean, obviously different to WWE, but like I've watched AEW
Mhm.
pay-per-views and stuff in the past, and
Mhm.
other, like, I'm not live, but I've gone back and watched different indie shows and like ROH stuff like that. So I mean, I'm used to the a little bit more simplified presentation, but honestly, this show had a bit more of the like sports entertainment type of stuff that you'd expect at a WWE PLE. And I mean, honestly, my whole thing is like I don't want to be one of those wrestling fans on the internet that's like trying to dissect every single detail and like looking for something to hate. I want to be entertained. Like I go into these types of shows with a positive mindset of like I want to have fun. And so for me, I had a great time throughout the whole show. Like there were some matches that the pacing was a bit slow and certain stuff. Like I've seen some criticism online of different things that like is fair. But for me personally, like I was entertained throughout the whole show. I was introduced to some really cool wrestlers, and just overall I thought that
Interesting storylines.
yeah, like I'm think that TNA, from what I saw in that pay-per-view, is in a really good spot, and it seems
Nice.
like with everything going on with NXT as well, that the future for TNA is very bright, which I think could only mean good things for the professional wrestling business as a whole. Like I was saying right now, there was a lot of people that caught my attention. Like I said, Jordan Grace, who's going to be, it seems like from reading all the tea leaves and everything I'm seeing online, is going to be a WWE wrestler fairly soon. It seems like that should be coming, hopefully, I don't, potentially at the Rumble, who knows, but she definitely caught my attention as someone that could shake up the women's division a bit and have a lot of really interesting feuds and matches. Just her style being so physical, being so strong, like with the women's division being the way it is right now, with people like Rhea and Jade and stuff like that, like
counters to that and shit.
Bianca. Yeah, like there's a lot of powerhouse woman in the women's division that I think could really put on some really good matches and good feuds with her. So I'm excited to see more of that. There was a wild like street fight kind of thing with Masha Slamovich and a wrestler named Rosemary. So I'm familiar with Masha Slamovich a bit. I didn't know who Rosemary was coming into the show,
What
but
the fuck is Master Stoppage? No offense.
so she is the TNA Knockouts champion, which is like the head woman's title over there. I think the first time I was introduced to her was actually Fourth Rope.
Okay.
The West Side Gun shows that he puts on. She was involved in one of the shows over there recently, but yeah, she's the TNA Knockouts champion over there. And I know that she was like a pretty physical wrestler just from the match I had seen her in. And yeah, like her being involved, it wasn't a street fight, but it was some weird, like there was weapons everywhere. It was there was a lot going on. It was fucking
Sounds
crazy.
like TNA.
One of the first spots that happened was her using a staple gun to put a staple in the armpit of her opponent.
That's wild.
She was like trying to get out of something else, and she put the staple gun right here and pulled that bitch. I was like,
no way.
What the fuck? Like, nah, bro, that shit was gnarly, bro. That shit was fucking crazy. That was a wild match.
Wow.
That was a wild match.
I need to for sure watch that shit back, bro.
I would say that was one that's worth watching just because it was a wild, hardcore match. And Masha is someone that has been rumored and potentially gonna be appearing in this year's Royal Rumble because she is the Knockouts champion, which is something that has, like, a decent amount of history in WWE. When Jordan Grace made her first appearance in the Royal Rumble last year, she was the Knockouts champion.
And especially after this agreement now.
Exactly. So I feel like there's a good chance that we might see her at the Royal Rumble, so that'll be super
Especially
exciting.
since it's a 40. I don't know if you've seen the announcement, but it's a 40-man now. You know, it's a 40-man Rumble now.
This year?
You know. It's a 40-man Rumble. You for real don't know?
I haven't seen anything about this. I can't see anything on here about this.
They literally announced that shit. That's just gonna be a 40-man Rumble, bro.
Dog, there's nothing online about it.
What did you look up?
Royal Rumble 40-man 2025. No, dude. I don't see anything on here. Where did you see this?
Bro, I swear to God, I saw it on Instagram.
Bro, that's not a good source.
I know.
Because I could post on Instagram that it's going to have 69,420 people.
Look up Royal Rumble 2025 right there on WWE. See what the fuck is it, bro.
The following superstars have declared for this year's 30-man Royal Rumble match.
Fuck, man.
It's okay. You got by Instagram.
Misinformed.
You got by Instagram.
Misinformed,
It
y'all.
happens to the best of us, man.
Misinformed, y'all.
You got by Instagram. Just make sure next time you click on that profile and see, are they verified? Who are they? Are they legitimate? It's okay. Happens to the best of us.
Wow.
But no 40 mans, unfortunately. But this would be the time to pull it out since they got all these people to do it. But I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how it integrates. But the only other shit I really wanted to cover from Genesis, just something I wanted to touch on quickly, was the main event, that match with Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth. God damn, man. God damn. I haven't seen a full start to finish Nick Nemeth match, honestly, probably since he was in WWE.
I can imagine.
Like, and it just was so wild to see, like, he is still that good. Like, I've seen some clips here and there online, but that was
just a solid ass match.
Honestly, man, more than solid. I thought it was a truly phenomenal.
How much
match.
stars would you give it?
I would give it 5.
A 5-star match? That's crazy.
As a one-on-one wrestling match, no interference, no shenanigans, no sports entertainment, just two dudes wrestling. That was phenomenal grabs from both members of the match. But Nick Nemeth has always been, ever since he was known as Dolph Ziggler back when I was a kid, he has just always been one of the very best at selling. And, like, not just selling, but making their opponent truly look like an absolute stud. Like, he just gets it, man. Like, I don't know, man. It was such an enjoyable match. And Joe Hendry as well, to his credit, he truly does have, like, the it factor as far as the charisma
and the memes,
the crowd control. See, it's more than just that. Like, yes, the memes are a big part of it. I think that's what gets his name spread around the internet so much. But in that match, if you're, like, breaking it down, like, every single moment of that match...
You think he showed he can wrestle?
It's not just that. Can I tell you what's even more important than that? Because some of the greatest of all time, in this promotion right here in particular, they aren't the best in ring.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena's my GOAT. He's not the best technical wrestler. He's not in the top fucking, like, probably not in the top 50, top 100.
Because he doesn't have to be, though.
He doesn't have to be. Joe Hendry is a really great technical wrestler. Don't get me wrong. This isn't me trying to say he can't. He has grabs.
Damn, he's
but there's something there's something that's more important than just grabs. Crowd control. Joe Hendry had that entire arena in Dallas, Texas in the palm of his fucking hands. Everything he did, they were hanging on every motion. Like, every movement. I'm telling you, dude, guy's gonna be a fucking superstar. If he gets the proper booking in the proper circumstances, he just gets it, man. He's got the ability to manipulate a crowd in any which way he pleases. And that is a gift that I don't think can really be taught. You know, you either get it or you don't, or you can kind of learn it from experience. But I don't know if there's any, like, there's no class, there's no lesson you can get on that. He just understands and has this innate charisma to control a crowd. He's phenomenal, man. I'm a big Joe Hendry fan.
You think Joe Hendry's gonna go on to do something big?
I think he's gonna be a special talent. I think he's probably gonna be in TNA for a bit, for the foreseeable future. given the fact that they just put the belt on him. But I think at some point within the next couple years, it's realistic to assume he could end up in WWE. And at that point, the sky's the fucking limit. I think Joe Hendry just has that X factor.
Yeah.
That there's certain guys who have the ability to have the entire crowd on the edge of their seat for anything the guy's gonna do, and he's got that for sure. So yeah, I definitely was really impressed with the pay-per-view overall, and yeah, bro, I'm gonna be tuned in to TNA. Shit's crazy. In 2025, I did not think I would be saying that. But that's
TNA.
That's the beautiful state of professional. So that this is where I'll leave it. One of the opening lines from one of the commentators, I forget who. I forgive me for forgetting their name, but one of the lines in the opening of the entire pay-per-view that really hit me was like, the dude said, "It's a golden age for professional wrestling," and like went into his whole spiel hyping up the show.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, like, yeah, man, like this really is a moment where no matter where you look, no matter what promotion you're a fan of, no matter what you like, no matter, like I said, no matter where you look,
there's shit's going on, bro.
There's great shit going on, and it's great to see. As a fan, it's just great to see. So yeah, bro, very happy with the state of wrestling overall.
Professional
the
wrestling,
TNA show was great. It's been teased pretty heavily that John Cena could be making an appearance in Total Nonstop Action TNA wrestling.
Teased in what way?
I have 2 pieces of evidence, which is not a big number, but they're strong pieces of evidence.
It's not confirmed, but evidence, okay, whatever.
John Cena posts on Instagram.
He posts random shit all the time.
Yeah, but it means something. I watch a lot of John Cena interviews, and he said every post means something. He posted the TNA wrestling logo with the WWE logo on his Instagram. That means something. We don't know what it means, but we know if you're a Cena mark and you've watched all his interviews like I have.
That's corporate Cena, bro.
No, but it means something. Maybe it just means, oh, I think this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it means farewell tour, I'm interested. It could mean many things, but the post exists. Can I tell you the facts? You can't disagree with the facts, okay? The post exists, and it means something. We know that to be true. That's a fact. That's an unequivocal fact. You cannot debate it.
What's the second thing that...
Second thing? I'll give you the second thing. On the Busted Open podcast, the day after TNA Genesis, Joe Hendry calls in to do an interview with Bubba Ray Dudley and the rest of the boys on there. I forget their names right now. Dave LaGreca? I'm drunk. Forgive me. Joe Hendry calls in to celebrate his win at Genesis. And the very final question that Bubba Ray asks him is, you just won the championship. Who are you looking at? Who is the guy that you think is on your heels that you're looking at could be the next guy to come up and try and take this from you? And you know what he said? I think the most awesome thing that could happen for me this year would be getting to get in the ring with John Cena. He called him out live on the podcast and said, dude, Cena, come to TNA and wrestle me for this. So Cena posts his posts. Joe Hendry calls him out on a podcast that's hosted by WWE legends. And now I present to you my 2 pieces of evidence and say that I think John Cena might go to TNA this year. For one show, do one match against Joe Hendry.
TNA
and put Hendry over. I don't think he wins the title, but I think he goes there and puts Hendry over.
His time is up and his time is now.
Because that's Cena at this point. We know he's going to be in here to mostly put people over and then have some big wins. Let's just be... Bro, that was the Rumble promo. It's going to be really hard. He's not that good anymore. He loses all the time. So he's going to have to put some people over. You know me, I'm a Cena guy. Mm-hmm. But Cena's going to put some people over. It's John, he can't help it. He's too nice of a guy. He can't help himself but to put some people over.
He's not like someone, brother.
Exactly. And so I think there's a very strong chance that in the year of 2025, the year of the farewell tour of the greatest of all time, John Cena, we get an appearance at TNA
for the TNA championship
up against Joe Hendry. Thoughts, opinions, vibes.
I don't know, wild. Crazy as fuck.
¿Por qué?
Damn, I don't know, bro.
¿Por qué?
John Cena.
¿No puedes vivirlo?
It can happen. It can. It really can. But, like, really? Really, for real, wrestle fucking Joe Hendry for the fucking...
This deal exists. It's not like it's some out-of-nowhere concept. The two companies are they're in a business agreement. And this is... Look, if VKM...
We're really gonna hear...
Hey, escúchame.
Bro.
Happened to ECW, first of all. So it's not like it's the first time
that
he's gone to...
though.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be here. It'd be dumb not to, honestly. I feel like they kind of should advertise it. As much as I love a surprise pop, I think you gotta advertise Cena appearing at a TNA show. Or else I might not be watching live. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that they would have to. My point is, A, there's precedent. He's appeared at ECW. And B, this is not the old VKM WWE. Alright? If that old, sick, disgusting, fucked up bastard was still in charge of this company, then yes, I'd say, Luis, you're right, there's no fucking chance he appears in that shit. Because you know what?
Fire.
He would have said, oh, sign a deal with TNA? Oh, huh, never doing that. Those sons of bitches. No. We never would have had the NXT TNA partnership in the fucking first place if VKM was still in charge of the goddamn company. Because VKM was a goddamn weird son of a bitch. He hated everybody, even though there was no competition. It was just bred into his brain from the 80s, so he hated other promotions.
He wanted... If it wasn't his, then he hated it.
Exactly.
That's what it was, though.
But he's gone. Thank God. And we have Papa H, Papa Paul, Hunter, the GOAT, arguably, Booker now in charge. And so what does that mean? We don't gotta deal with all that petty bullshit no more. We could work with TNA. We could do other shit. And so I feel like now, of all times, in the WWE would be the time, with Triple H as the boss, to go ahead and send Juan Cena to TNA. I could see it, bro.
We'll see, bro.
Would you be excited?
I would definitely tune in and watch that shit, because that would be interesting to see.
Because, like, what the fuck, right?
That's history, bro. That's like the ECW moment, bro.
Do you think it's gonna happen, in your honest opinion?
Probably like 35%, yes.
It's a lot higher than zero. It's a lot higher than zero.
35%.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Small chance. Very tiny chance with the farewell tour. Because he'd be like, oh, this is probably something I wanted to do for like a long time.
It's not even just him putting over Joe Hendry. It's him putting over TNA. Like, what a fucking moment for the whole promotion.
What if he gives a crazy ass promo like, oh, I once thought about switching over to this company or some shit like that?
Dude, that would do so much. That would mean so much. Just to all, especially the WWE fans, primarily people like us who mostly pay attention to WWE. That would, I think, mean a lot to fans as far as legitimizing TNA.
That would be a wild ass promo. If he ever said that.
Oh, man. You're getting me even more excited now. I want to see it now for sure. I'm going to say 100% chance. Because I'm manifesting shit on L Show right now. It's a prayer circle that we're starting with the viewers. And they're going to pray for it too. Yes, I am starting a prayer circle with the viewers. And they're going to pray for Quanthena in TNA Wrestling. We're going to make it happen. Let's do it.
That'll be cool. It should be dope.
It'd be fire, bro. Hey, never give up. Never give up.
That fool's gonna have to raise up Joe Henry's fucking hand though. That fool's gonna get up all fucking supposedly fucked up.
Bro, I'm gonna make that my wallpaper on my phone. I'm gonna have to tell my girlfriend, sorry. Those pictures of us are cute, but
This is hotter.
this makes me happier.
Whoa. Whoa.
That was how I felt when Cena came out last year and gave the rub to LA Knight. Do you remember that moment where he came out as a special guest referee in his match and he's like holding his hand up at the end?
And when he fucking hesitated at first, and he's
that was
like,
one of the best moments.
He's like, nah, like fucking.
I loved that so much. Oh my god. Alright. I love John Cena. He's great. There is a very realistic chance that Hulk Hogan is going to appear
on TNA
at the 2025 Royal Rumble.
Throw his ass over.
And I am upset about it.
Throw his ass over.
I am upset about that shit.
You know he's gonna come and do it. Everybody's gonna.
Bro, you saw the Punk promo where he mentions
Hulk Hogan fucking, I'll throw his dusty ass over and shit. Yep, great fucking promo. Best promo of 2025 so far.
It was great. And we've obviously seen all the promotion for Saturday night's main event.
He's gonna be there, brother.
Saturday night's main event is back, Jack.
Guess we didn't learn our lesson, but okay.
So now that is the question I'm wondering about is, did they not hear the audience?
They're trying to push.
We were loud. We booed hard. All of us. Everybody.
This is one of those Triple H oopsie daisies. I don't know if this is in full of his control or anything like that, bro, but this is not it.
It is such a tone-deaf decision.
It is not it, bro.
And look, it could just be Punk.
The fact that, like, they literally fucking put this fool's face and, like, fucking, you better be there, brother. I'm like, bro, did you not?
Yeah, no, so, yeah, obviously that's the Royal Rumble aside. Bro, just the fact that they're using him in all the advertising.
Bro, the first promo I saw when he popped that shit, I was like, I was really going to text you, but I didn't know if you watched fucking Raw since you watch it at different times and shit like that. I was like, bro, I was fucking shocked, dog. I was like, are you fucking serious, dude?
No, yeah, I don't understand how, after such a resoundingly negative response, they've continued to use him in advertising for Saturday night's main event. And now...
Bro's gonna come out as Hollywood Hogan now. You're fucking...
So, I know you're joking, but there's people who are actually saying that online. Have you seen this?
Did you see... Because he was in like a black bandana and a fucking black shirt.
Well, there's people who are just saying that because of how negative the response was during the debut episode of Raw on Netflix,
Hogan is gonna come out,
that he's gonna come back, but as a heel to embrace the heat that he's been getting. My problem is, you're not getting heat because you're like Dominic Mysterio and you're like...
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but I was gonna say some funny shit, bro.
Say it.
This was fucking heel's gonna fucking be saying the N-word. Cause, bro, that's why he has heat, bro. That's...
No, that is the problem. Is it's like it's not like it's outside of the realm of possibility because it did happen. That's why, like you say, that's why we are so upset with you, is because we know that that's on the table.
Bro, because like that's why he's getting booed. He's a fucking asshole, bro.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah. No, obviously, I don't think that would happen.
He's gonna embrace the heat, be like, yeah, boo because of that. Yeah, brother. That would be poor taste in this generation of WWE to have this fool embrace Hollywood Hogan right now.
Yeah, no, because the heat, like you said, it comes from
It's not
a very real place. It just doesn't feel like you should be embracing.
It's not like Dominic Mysterio is like, oh, that was just his character of being a fucking dickhead. He's not over here fucking saying that word.
No, it's gonna be fascinating to see if they actually have the balls to bring him out after obviously everything that's happened, not just recently but just over the years. The fact that they already decided to bring him out at the debut of Raw on Netflix was insane.
Fuck, bro.
And now the fact that not only, like I said, he's been used in the promotional stuff for main event, but name dropped in a Punk promo. Who knows?
I was watching a meme when that fool was like saying, "Oh, I stopped drinking alcohol because it was bad for me," and then drink all American beer, brother.
It's the
freshest, crispiest beer you can drink, brother.
It just scares me. It just scares me to think that Hulk Hogan could actually be in the Royal Rumble. I'm terrified of that thought.
Bro.
I'm terrified
Why
of that
does
thought.
WWE still have him around? Like, he's so fucking controversial. I thought we're moving on from this shit.
It's just not necessary.
I feel like the locker room probably is nice to him, but I feel like it's not the best vibe.
Well, bro, how awkward does it have to be? Like, we're in such a better place in just society and professional wrestling where everybody gets to be embraced and everyone gets to have a shot. And then you got this motherfucker walking in with this rap sheet of crazy shit.
Can I say a side note?
Come on.
I hope like CM Punk doesn't get fired like when they fucking run into each other, because I know probably that fool talk shit out of that fool. Fucking Hogan is like, "Hey brother."
Nah, see, my thing is like everyone I feel like behind the scenes at WWE would understand that Punk is justified for saying whatever he said. So even if Hogan wanted to start some shit, there's no way that'd be heat on Punk, you know? But, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a crazy thought to think that this dude is even potentially going to be involved, and we just have to pray that it does not happen. I want to at least shift this segment to a little bit more of a positive note, because there are some other potential legend appearances at the Royal Rumble that are been teased in some way, shape, or form, somewhat possible. Not a lot this year, but at least a few that I think are somewhat possible. So I'm going to pitch you on a few potential legend Rumble appearances and get your thoughts on it. The first one that I think is probably the most likely is Goldberg.
That's not bad.
He appeared fairly recently in an episode of, I think it was Raw or SmackDown, I forget which, but had the whole thing with Gunther.
Yeah.
He's been mentioned in a decent amount of stuff recently from Gunther on WWE television, and according to Goldberg himself, from what he said publicly, he has one match left on his WWE contract. Have you seen that?
No.
He has said this publicly. And so with all of that, there are people that think a Goldberg appearance at the Royal Rumble to set up one last match with somebody like,
Gunther.
Potentially Ludwig eliminates him and that elevates somehow to a Gunther feud or something. There are many different ways you could book it, or even if you want to go away from the Gunther thing and have, like, for me personally, what I'd love to see if we have one final Goldberg match in WWE, I'd love to see him versus Braun Breaker. And if you want to do that and have Braun eliminate Goldberg, I think that would be really cool, because he's kind of the new Goldberg in some ways.
That would be interesting flow, bro.
I just think that with him publicly throwing it out there, I believe like a few months ago, that he has one match left on his contract, him appearing at shows right around that same time, I feel like a Goldberg appearance is at least somewhat possible.
Okay.
This next name I'm going to throw at you...
So is that going to be his last match, though? The Rumble, and that's it?
I don't think that would count, because that's not really a singles match, and I don't think he'd last that long in a Rumble at this point. Like I said, I think it would be something to set up a feud for him to have a final match.
You probably come in like in 21st or some shit like
Exactly, yeah. Have someone eliminate him, and then that sets up a big match, either at like a Chamber, a Saturday Night Main Event, or maybe even a WrestleMania. And so I think that could be a way to make it work. This next name I'm going to throw at you is a little bit out of left field, but I want you to hear me out. Bubba Ray Dudley. He appeared last year at NXT when they had a big show in Philadelphia. It was an ECW themed kind of show.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray appeared. He was in a tag team match down there. It was a while ago. I don't quite remember all the details, but he was involved in a match down there. I think that there could be some chance. It seems like he's in at least some sort of ring shape to take a couple bumps. He's heavily involved with WWE as far as the like podcast stuff that he does. He's always interviewing talent from WWE and TNA, which just didn't deal with WWE. So like he's very involved in the universe, I guess, to use that word, of WWE. I'm fairly certain he's signed under a Legends contract at the moment. I mean, it's all there. It's just if he's available and if they want to use him. But I think that a Bubba Ray Dudley appearance is very, very possible at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, it would be very interesting. I'm less certain on this one compared to even I'm not certain on any of them, but like the Goldberg one seems more likely. Not likely, but I think it could happen. This I'm a little less certain on, but I think it's at least possible, just given how involved he is in the product at this moment and everything that he did last year on NXT. So I think that there's some chance of an appearance there. It could be possible. The last one I have for you is a bit of a long shot, but it was teased recently. Mick Foley. So he was talking, it was in like a social media post or an interview. It's late, I'm a bit drunk, I forget some of the details. But there was some sort of post or something that came out that came across my feed on social media recently. Where
this what told me not to trust Instagram earlier.
Listen. At the end of the little like post or whatever the fuck that it was that I saw, this fool mentioned something about, and who knows, maybe I could appear in the Rumble. And then he's like, oh, hold on. And it's him like getting a phone call from Triple H. And then like the little video shit ends. This was something that he posted to his social media recently.
I want to see it.
I could try and find it. You want me to?
Yeah, you fact check me, fact check
yourself.
All
right.
Hey, Hunter. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Okay? All right, thanks, Triple H.
Is it a work? Is it a shoot? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Mick Foley might be in the fucking Royal Rumble, dude.
Fuck.
Mick Foley might be in the Royal Rumble, dude. It's right there.
Come out as Mick Foley, fucking.
It's right there.
Dun-dun-dun.
It's right there. Thoughts? What do you think? You just saw it. You just saw the tease. What do you think? Do you think it's legit?
I think it's probably gonna happen. It's all right.
Bro played the music and everything.
Oh, Triple H? Royal Rumble? Okay.
And it's like, bro, no one, obviously, like, it's not like he has to win. Dude, come in there for 30 seconds. I don't give a fuck.
Bro made a whole fucking high-quality video, too, for it and shit.
You know? How possible do you think it is? So you gave, earlier in the podcast, you gave John Cena a 35% chance of appearing in TNA in 2025.
Yeah.
What percentage chance are you giving Mick Foley to appear in the Royal Rumble?
70.
70? Oh, okay.
70. I saw it 70, bro. After that,
if he doesn't show up, will you be disappointed?
I'll look at Mick Foley like, what was he talking about, bro?
That's fair. Cause yeah, nah, they did. I mean, yeah. Hey man.
I hope my Foley's not going crazy. That's something I hope.
I would be so hyped, bro. That would be super fire. I mean, we'll see, man. Pray to God that they give us Mick Foley and not Hulk Hogan. That's all we can hope for.
That would be interesting. We'll see how main event goes because I'm pretty sure he's gonna pop out on main event.
The Hulkster?
You know.
Unfortunately, I feel like you're probably right. Just because why would they slap him all over the advertising?
Ooh.
I don't know though, because now they're advertising that Shawn Michaels is gonna be there, so maybe that's the legend appearance, and maybe they just stuff the Hogan shit.
That's to save the show probably afterwards.
We'll see.
That's probably their backup plan.
Excited to see the Heartbreak Kid.
Excited to see the Heartbreak Kid.
I'm popping hard for that this weekend. I'm already stretching my hips.
You know I'm sexy.
I need to ask you if Seth Rollins is turning heel. Is he the people won't be able to see.
Yeah,
but Luis is turning his heel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like it might be happening. He's been on the losing side of the Punk feud, which obviously Punk is just obviously the more over wrestler in that feud.
By heel, what do you mean though? He's fully gonna turn on the fans and be like, fuck everything. He's like, hey, I'm just focusing on myself and I'm gonna start doing some dirty shit.
I think it could be similar to Drew McIntyre, where he never came out and did like a full fuck the fans shit at first. He grew into that, but it was really just, don't you guys see what's going on? Like, I'm getting fucked over here time after time by CM Punk, but you guys keep chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Like, fuck this guy, you know? And I guess part of that did, yes, you could say, start after the Royal Rumble where he did the whole, like, oh, I broke his arm and I enjoyed it, blah, 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 like that whole thing, whatever it was. But I feel like he really grew into that over time as the fans continued to be just so pro-Punk. Drew continued to sink more and more into, like, that heel role that he was playing that he did so well last year. And I feel like Seth has been getting slowly pushed towards that, not only by the stuff with Punk, but the stuff with the Bloodline, where he's consistently going up to guys like Sammy and Jay, all these guys, and tell them, like, hey, like, you know, I understand what you guys are trying to do, but at the same time, like, why do you keep working with Roman? Why are you helping Roman? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like Seth has just been getting pushed and pushed and pushed so much to where, especially after what we saw finishing off Raw this last week, where he goes to deliver Sami Zayn is going to deliver a haluva kick to Drew McIntyre, and it ends up landing on Seth. I think that could be something that pushes Seth to, like, all right,
turning on
fuck
Sammy
this shit.
First and shit.
And yeah, he goes after Sammy for being so close with Roman and a part of the Bloodline, and then B, you kicked me in the fucking face.
They're gonna have to get some type of get back for that shit.
And then that kind of leads into a heel version of Seth Rollins that can go from there.
I don't know if you saw, but fucking behind him was fucking, what's his that fool's name, Cross, before he made his fucking intro and shit like that.
Really? No, I didn't.
You didn't notice that?
No.
Before he made his intro and shit like that on Raw, when his fucking, you really did not see it. Fucking, he was literally, that fool Cross was standing behind him and he's just like.
I did not notice this. Wow. Okay. No, I didn't notice it.
That's funny as fuck.
Damn.
What's that fool's name?
Karrion Kross?
Yeah, the one that fucking was with the Miz and all them and shit like that. Yep. Mm-hmm. He was literally standing behind him and just like smiling and shit like that.
Well, I mean, there you go. It could all be a part of a deeper, darker plan then. I don't know. I just feel like the way that Seth's creative has been going over the last 4 to 6 months, like, you know, he had his World Heavyweight Championship run that was great, dropped it at Mania, was out for injury for a bit, And then as soon as he started getting himself involved with Punk especially, I just don't think the reactions have been quite as... Like, when he comes out by himself, the crowd still goes crazy. But then when it was him and Punk, the crowd was definitely a lot more behind CM Punk. I don't know. I feel like this is a time where it makes sense.
He's gonna turn on everybody and just say, fuck y'all. Fuck
It
everybody.
feels like Seth is going to be on that vibe.
I feel it.
I don't know. I feel like with everything that's been happening with Punk and with everything that's been happening with so many of his like friends realigning with Roman, and then like with everything with Sammy recently, I feel like it just is gonna be the boiling point where he's gonna go crazy.
So like I said, do you think he's gonna join a faction? Possibly with like Karrion Kross again or some shit like that?
No, I could maybe see that being like somewhat of an influence that pushes him to be more of a heel, if that would be a good way to elevate Karrion Kross, because these feuds have been interesting, but it's been still relegated to the mid card pretty strictly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be interesting to see what it would look like him doing this manipulative kind of dark gimmick with somebody more established in the main event right now, someone like a Seth Rollins. That would be interesting. But I don't think you need to make it such a big part of it just because Seth is so good on his own. Like, you don't need Karrion to
Do shit really.
do too much with Seth. Maybe push him and make a couple points that help him realize, like, oh yeah, these people are pieces of shit. I do need to blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, like, you just need Seth out there by himself in the ring with a microphone. And if you need him to cut a promo to convince people why he's being a dick right now, I think he could do an amazing job at it.
100%.
And I don't know. This is something that we talked about recently. We were just texting about it, but something that I think could be interesting is Seth winning the Rumble, and especially Seth winning the Rumble as a
The
heel, I think is fascinating.
Him doing some sneaky shit like going under the ring or whatever.
Just pulling out any of those
Pulling
heel
some
tricks, or
old school fucking Authority Rollins.
even if he doesn't need to pull out the heel tricks, just cutting a promo before or even after and just letting people know that he's doing this for himself, and the people don't appreciate Seth Rollins, so he's going to show us why we need to appreciate, whatever the fuck the case is. I just think that there are ways where a Seth heel turn, especially this time of year, building into Mania season, could be really, really interesting.
Seth winning the Rumble.
And the seeds have been planted.
Off of a heel turn, I mean, being heel.
The seeds have been planted for it. It's not like this would be coming completely out of left field.
Not winning the Rumble, but like heel turn, yeah.
Is Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumble completely out of left field? Like, he is one of the truly elite main eventers. He's one of the top level guys in the company. I don't feel like it's that crazy.
So much talent that could possibly.
Of course, there's a lot of heavy favorites. I do think there are favorites ahead of him. Like, if I was gonna bet on who's gonna win the Royal Rumble, there are a few guys I'd have ahead of him, at least. But I think maybe potentially the most interesting way to pull off the Royal Rumble would be heel Seth Rollins winning the Rumble.
Pulling another steal of the century or some shit.
It's possible, man. I don't know. It's there. It's there if they want to do it.
That would be interesting. Pulling another steal of the century.
So you're behind it as far as, like, you would be interested in it?
To see as a heel Rollins, yeah. But we still got same Rollins, probably not.
Can I ask you one question just to end this off? Let's just pretend in fantasy universe that heel Seth Rollins just won the Royal Rumble right now. He just did it. Oh my God. It just happened. Who do you want Seth Rollins to challenge at WrestleMania with him being a heel? Assuming the champions are still Cody and Gunther.
I probably feel like I feel like he could probably go after Cody Rhodes just to disrupt the system, bro.
And now imagine that.
He's gonna
A
be like,
heel Seth.
he's gonna be like the anti CM Punk. He's probably gonna talk shit to him like, oh, you're going for the other title, like, yes, fucking whatever, this and that, but I'm going.
I just think it would be good, man. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Given what I've seen recently, I think it's possible.
That's interesting, though.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I think it's interesting and I think it's possible. And I'll tell you what, if anything, Triple H has done a really good job of making me excited to tune into Monday Night Raw next week because I'm really curious to see what Sammy and Seth have to say given what's gone on there. I think that would be the moment to potentially start turning Seth heel, and so we'll see what happens on Raw this next week, but interesting times.
So, like, what the fuck is going on with Cody, though? Because, like, what's his Mania lead up right now, bro?
Well, it hasn't started yet. He's in the middle of this feud with KO.
So it's not confirmed no more with the fucking Rock no more?
No. I think anyone who's saying it's confirmed is crazy because what do we have to go off that tells us that?
When did it stop being confirmed? Because before I feel like you were saying, yeah, it's going to be fucking Rock versus Cody.
After the debut of Raw on Netflix, obviously. I mean, that promo he cut and then just nothing since then. It feels like the final boss. Like I said, I said this on our 2025 predictions episode this last week that I don't foresee the final boss appearing in the ring this year given the way that everything's gone. I'd love to be wrong about that, but I don't see it. I think that whoever ends up winning the Royal Rumble, that answers your question of who is the Cody Rhodes Mania feud. What is the direction for Cody Rhodes going into Mania? Because I say that because I would be shocked if whoever wins the Royal Rumble ends up challenging Gunther. Because it feels like the World Heavyweight Championship picture is very packed. That's something we've also discussed on this show. How there's like at least a half dozen guys that you can easily make contenders for Gunther's championship right now. That's not really the same with Cody. And so I feel like whoever wins the Rumble just default becomes the Cody challenger. Which is what makes the Rumble so fascinating because it could be Cena, it could be Roman, it could be Punk, it could be Seth. Yeah. So who knows? But I think the Rumble will answer your question. And this is going to be one hell of a Royal Rumble. I'm excited. And if a heel Seth Rollins wins it, you heard it here first.
Wow.
That would be fucking awesome.
Wow.
We'll see. We have a kind of premium live event coming up this weekend. I don't know what to call these yet.
Listen, brother.
Saturday night's main event is back, Jack. And it's coming to San Antonio, brother.
Call them PHS's premium house shows.
Kinda after the first one. We will find out if you're right after this show, I think. Because this show does have the potential to move some shit forward, but it also has the potential to be kind of underwhelming.
A PHS premium house show.
So, I want to at least run through the matches that we have announced at this point, and just overall what your vibes are going into the show. We'll start with Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
Nice.
Because it's the only non-championship match announced thus far.
The Monster versus
the Werewolf. How do you feel? I'm genuinely really excited.
Match probably in the making right there.
I do think that this is going to be a phenomenal in-ring match.
Loki might be highlight of the night, Loki.
There's some other stuff on here that might be really good, but it's up there. It's one of the matches that has potential to steal the show. 100%. What are you feeling as far as...
Who might get that win? Jacob Fatu. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I don't think there's any question. I would
Without a
bet
doubt.
the house
Without a doubt.
that we are inside of right now recording this podcast.
That was probably gonna get fucked up, and that was probably gonna supposedly eat that shit, bro. And fucking.
There's definitely going to be a lot of offense from Braun Strowman because you can't make that guy look like a complete bitch. You got to give him something.
He's gonna throw him through the fucking barricade.
But then at some point, it's going to be like after just a shit ton of offense, he will get up and completely no-sell something and just go crazy.
Just start fucking.
Do you think we see the combo of the Samoan drop and then the hop up top rope moonsault that he does on Braun Strowman? The part I'm most interested about is, do you think we see him Samoan drop Braun Strowman?
The werewolf is making.
Because that's tough.
Bro.
That's tough though, dude.
That's some John Cena shit, bro.
I'm gonna pop for it hard if it happens. Because, dude, what the fuck? Like that shouldn't happen. I am very excited to see this match. Like you said, I do think that this has serious potential to be a show stealer. Maybe one of the matches of the year, potentially. Depending on how everything shakes out. But I don't think that that's the only match on this card that has that potential, though. And that's Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. If we're talking about potential match of the year candidates, I think that Braun Breaker versus Sheamus could end up in that category at some point. The style that Sheamus brings to the ring, just the absolute intensity, and then you add Braun Breaker into that, who is the young embodiment, the next generation of intensity in the ring. I just think we have an absolute classic brewing as far as just hard-hitting grabs. I feel like this is going to be an intense match.
I think the title's switching over. I think Sheamus becoming the Grand Slam, bro.
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Nope. I think he's going to be... Sheamus is getting his Grand Slam, bro.
I feel like Braun Breaker wins here, but somehow they find a way to make it where Sheamus still has an argument. Maybe Braun like cheats a little bit, or there's a ref bump where ref gets knocked out of the ring and Sheamus gets a pin on him 1, 2, 3, but there's no ref there to count it.
Ain't think they're gonna continue that? Ain't gonna lose on Raw?
No, I feel like you might be able to build this to Mania if you pace it properly, the feud. And I say that because
Mania, Lou?
Sheamus becoming a Grand Slam champion, to me, is too big of a moment for a Saturday night's main event.
But I feel that's like might be the push, though.
I get where you're coming from. Like, I like the idea of Sheamus winning it. I just feel like the feud has barely really gotten started between him and Braun. And I think if you have Braun win it, but not completely in a way that
it was convincing,
is inarguable, yeah, like Sheamus still has a decent argument to get that rematch, I feel like that's a good way to just put a little more hype behind this feud and build up the idea more to fans that Sheamus winning this IC title is a big deal and he might not be able to do it against Braun Breaker and shit like that. Like, if he just does it on the first go-around, you know, that's another somewhat underwhelming IC title reign for Braun Breaker gone just like that. I feel like you can't do that to one of your young up-and-coming talents. You got to give him a big win on a big stage where hopefully you've got a mainstream audience watching on main event. And like I said, do it in a way that somehow continues this feud going forward. Because yes, you don't want to close the door on Sheamus yet, because I do want that to happen at some point this year. I just don't necessarily feel like we're there yet. I think if you build it properly, you could get a much bigger payoff versus just throwing it on this episode of main event. That's just how I'm feeling on it. That's just how I'm feeling on it.
I'm gonna stick to like pod. It's gonna be like their big calling and be like, hey, we had a big title switch on here and shit like that. You have to tune into main event and shit.
I think that we could see a big title switch on the show, but I'm not so sure that this is the match that it's gonna happen. That's a little spoiler for later, but I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Braun Breaker as my official prediction here. I respect it, and look, I wouldn't be mad if it happened because I fucking love Sheamus, but I just think, like I said, I think that there's a way to get there with more hype, and I would like to see that, but we'll see. I'm interested to see how it shakes out because that is one of the matches on the card that I'm a bit more unsure on. Like, I'm saying Braun Breaker, but I'm not 100% on that. I wouldn't put money on it. The Women's World Championship match is one that I would put money on. I don't know how much time we need to spend on this one. It's gonna be Rhea. It's gonna be Rhea. It's gonna be dominant. You know, Nia Jax will present a decent challenge, but you know, it's Rhea Ripley, dude. It's Rhea bloody Ripley, dude.
And the way she's fucking been getting attacked lately, that just shows she's gonna fucking win, bro.
She's got a reason to go out there and get her revenge.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I think she's going to do. It will be, I think, a good early start to her title reign, give her a bit more legitimacy.
Yep.
Beating up on one of the big heels on the roster. But I got to be honest, she's got to dominate this match. They got to try and make it a good match as best they can. And then we got to move on. Because we did this at Elimination Chamber last year, and now we're doing it again, and that's fine because it's Saturday night's main event. I'm not expecting the craziest shit. But if we want to give Rhea a truly staple elite title reign, which she fucking deserves, like she is that level of a star, we can't just be running back the old hits from the last title reign. You know what I mean? So we gotta freshen it up a bit. We gotta do something different. I'm really hopeful that there's gonna be some interesting comebacks at the Women's Rumble that shakes things up in the women's division and gives her some new opponents. But I'm not too mad at this being the first match for her in her title reign because I expect her to win. So why not give us an opponent that at least will hopefully give us a physical, interesting match? But it's just gonna be Rhea bloody Ripley. Yeah, that's
100%.
So let's get into this World Heavyweight Championship match, where I think there is a bit more. This is one of those matches that I think genuinely,
just me,
I couldn't give you like any sort of firm 100%. Like I would not put $1 on this match.
I'm 40-60%.
So where are you leaning? Where's your 60?
Gunther.
Alright. Because I'm like still damn near 50-50. So sell me on why you think Gunther's going to win this match.
Like you said, bro, like we were talking earlier, we're talking about like this was going to be there at Mania still as champ, or like who's going to challenge fucking either Cody or Gunther or some shit like that. And it's kind of like, I do see Jay winning it if like the WWE really fucking wants that fucking pop, that fucking surprise and shit. But we'll see, bro, with the direction. We'll see how fucking Papa H does it, bro. Is he gonna pull a Vince, or is he gonna...
Is he gonna pull a Vince? What do you mean by that?
Ignore it until fucking the crowd is literally fucking... Yeet.
Just let the yeet die without ever giving... I see what you're saying.
Until there's another yes movement, but the yeet movement.
So then what's that factor that's swaying you towards Gunther? Why do you feel like now isn't the time for Jay? Because you said you see him winning it, but why not now? What's giving you that 10% towards Gunther?
I don't know, bro. It's just Gunther, bro. Gunther. Nah, bro. But it's gonna be a really close match. But I feel like something with Louis Kaiser is probably gonna get involved or some shit like that, bro.
Okay. Interesting. Because I feel like they haven't really been as connected lately. I don't know if I could see. I don't know if I see that as much. I do overall agree with you that I feel like Gunther probably picks up the win. I just like I don't I don't know, bro. Like I literally am still on the fence about it a bit now because the factor is that Jay is just so
He needs it, bro. If he loses it, he's
well.
buried.
He's just so over too. Like the fans love him so much, and so I feel like him having a big moment like this, like the company's not stupid. They know that it would be such a massive moment for
Even
them
if
to
it's-
give Jay that win.
Even if some stupid shit happens, he gets squashed by Goldberg on fucking Raw and shit like that. And then that's a fucking Mania match and shit, bro.
Jeez. You're saying Jay?
Yeah, Jay gets smashed by Goldberg.
And
then,
loses the title?
And then,
And then he has to win it back at Mania versus Goldberg?
probably a triple way, a three-way fucking Gunther, fucking Jay, fucking.
Nah, I'm just imagining how much I hate the idea of Jay Uso wrestling Goldberg at WrestleMania in 2025.
But it's possible.
Because Goldberg in his prime wasn't, like, the best in-ring talent. And Jay, loved the guy, loved the heat, but not the best in-ring
They're
talent.
spearing the fuck out of each
I was
other,
gonna
bro.
say, like, bro, it's literally a repeat of last year
Spear.
with Jimmy and
Oh,
Jay,
Jay hits him
except
with a
instead of
spear.
just nonstop super kicks, it's nonstop spears. It's like, fuck. So I kind of hate what you're saying right now, just because I'm imagining that. But no, I kind of understand where you're coming from. Like, that's why I say, like, ultimately, I feel like Gunther probably is the winner here. As much as Jay has that X factor where he could just get a crazy random dub out of nowhere, like when he won the IC title, a lot of people, I didn't expect it, but it just happened.
Bro, that'd be wild if he wins, bro.
As much as it's possible, I don't know. I don't really see it at this point. I feel like Gunther does need to carry that title into Mania, like you said. Because I think the big thing is, can I tell you, my big, deep reason behind it is that I feel like having both of your big champions on the men's division going into WrestleMania, both of them being babyface, is tough. Because you had that last year. Well, not necessarily, because Roman wasn't fully babyface yet.
No.
So yeah, like it's a tough one where if at least one of your championships, I get that. That's actually a perfect example. Seth was the face going into it, so that had its own interest and intrigue with the Drew McIntyre match at Mania. But the real hype was the chase of Cody trying to finish the story. That was the real thing that everyone was looking to see at Mania. I feel like if you don't have any babyface going on a chase going into Mania, that's tough to, like, you know what I mean? Just on a booking level, that I feel like that's difficult. And Gunther is such a great mountain to climb for any of your baby faces in the company because he's so great as a heel. So anyone that you put in there to work off of him, it's gonna make your baby face look like, oh, like, man, are they really gonna be able to do it? Like, there's always gonna be those seeds of doubt when it comes to Gunther. So yeah, I do feel like he has to maintain.
There's some doubt for Jey Uso here.
As much as it would, like you said, it would be fun if Jay won it. I do think that at least at Saturday night's main event, I think Gunther, he's got to retain. He's got to retain. And if they surprise me, I'll,
Yeet.
we'll see it. Yeah, I'll yeet for sure, but I think it's got to be Gunther.
Wow.
So we're literally the same on everything except the IC title match. That's okay.
Shame me, bro.
Braun Breaker, bro. Here's a bonus prediction. We've got the contract signing with KO and Cody. Yes or no? Do we see a super kick from Shawn Michaels? Do we see Sweet Chin music?
Probably.
It's a yes or no question. The answer probably is not acceptable.
Yes. But he's gonna get hit with a driver after.
Shawn Michaels takes a pile driver.
Mm-hmm. And break his neck right there, bro.
I think a stunner's more likely. Just because, dude, are you going to fucking pile driver Shawn Michaels in 2025? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally think it would be awesome. So I'm not telling you I don't want to see it. I'm just saying, wow. Because this dude's been through a lot of shit physically. I don't know if you've seen the way bro kind of looks these days.
Funny, man.
Looking at this corner and that corner of the room at the same time. Love him. Love the Heartbreak Kid, but good lord, he's been through some shit. He has been through some shit.
Oh, that good cocaine.
Well, that doesn't help, I don't think.
That good cocaine. And all them painkillers, bro. Whatever.
Heartbreak Kid.
He took the blues, the purples, the pinks, the yellows, whatever you can find.
He's a skittlehead.
He's a skittlehead, bro. He tasted the rainbow for sure.
Hey, we just went on a wild. I also think that we get a Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music. And I'm pissed because we're still the same on every prediction. But
If you ever have him on the podcast, he deserves the Sweet Chin music because
I'll let him. After what we just said, I'll let him. Especially after the joke I just made. I'll definitely
he
let him.
deserves it.
Oh, are you kidding? I would let Shawn Michaels do anything he wants to me. And I mean anything. It's Shawn Michaels. It's Shawn Michaels. He's just a sexy boy.
That's a wild way.